Good evening, YouTube and the SMA community, and welcome to round 5 of the Motorsport South Africa Cup 2025. Today marks the final leg of our American tour as the championship starts to heat up, as it was Tierna Levitius producing another dominant display last time out to make it 2 wins in a row, where he is starting to gain momentum in his pursuit of VSR Richard at the top of the standings. More on that later, as it's time to introduce your commentators for today. So it is myself, Flawed Genius Gaming, leading you through the next couple of hours of exhilarating racing in our special sponsored event. I am joined by a new commentator making his SMA debut with that American flavour. Please give the warmest of welcomes to the awesome Twitch streamer and racer known as Tusenbox. Tusenbox, good evening and welcome to the SMA and the MSA Cup. Delighted to have you alongside me, and how are you today?
Hey, thank you, Flawed. I'm doing really great today. I am honored to be in the comms box with you today. I've been looking forward to this for a few weeks now. And this race right here, I am super excited for it. I'm really excited about the car. The track is going to be amazing fun. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, we've got a very unusual combo ahead of us. But before we get into them race details and everything you need to know, it's important to shout out our sponsors for the MSA Cup. So firstly, we are sponsored by TGSC TGSC Cape Town Golf Academy, the hotbed of nurturing young potential to golfing greatness. An academy with a breadth of history for producing talent on the world stage. If you feel you have what it takes to become South Africa's next global star, TGSC is the place to be. And also sponsored by SimulatorCave.com, South Africa's haven for all your sim racing equipment, selling only the highest recommended products from the likes of Fanatic and Moza, as well as racing cockpits for that perfect driving experience. Please contact JP for always helpful and friendly advice, and if you're still not convinced, book yourself a tour of the shop and test drive many of their sim rigs available, so you get the full sim experience and leaving behind any doubts. Link is in the description below. Thank you so much to our official sponsors for the 2025 season of the MSA Cup. We are also sponsored by Motorsport South Africa, the only place for official GT7 leagues on behalf of South Africa, and Sim Motorsport Association, growing the sport together. Please contact Robin Williams, our MSA GT7 promoter, for further details. Email links will be in the description below and on our YouTube homepage. And speaking of Simulator Cave, so speaking of Simulator Cave, we are actually doing things a little bit differently today, as we have a couple of surprises up our sleeve. So firstly, the teams and the drivers, as you can see out on circuit right now, have kindly provided us with a special Simulator Cave livery for round 5 of the MSA Cup in this special event. So it is to pay homage to all the support Simulator Cave has provided over the years for sim racing in South Africa, and more recently for us in the SMA, and now this season's MSA Cup. So without the support of this brilliant sponsor, SMA wouldn't be where it is today, helping us fund the likes of the commentary team, the production values of what you can see now, to the prizes the drivers receive when they achieve top honours. And on behalf of the SMA, we want to say a big thank you to Simulator Cave for their continued support, and hope to continue our relationship for years to come. Secondly, we have a special guest amongst our ranks. Quite fittingly, we have the man himself, the owner of Simulator Cave, who is with us now. And for those that are in chat, this is the platform for you to get those questions out there. But JP, thank you so much for taking the time out to join us. And how are you today?
Good evening, Flawed. Yes, thank you for this opportunity. I'm super stoked. When I got the news that the livery will be Simulator Cave, and I got a whiz or two of what the cars look like, I thought, wow, what a special event! And thank you for SMA for doing this, and for the guys doing the hard work on getting the Simulator Cave logo and livery on their cars. That's quite special. I'm really happy about this.
Yeah, I'm just literally looking through the liveries right now. They are looking quite splendid indeed, and yeah, great job from the drivers out there. That is for sure. JP, for those that are not aware of your brand, please give us a rundown on your company and the services you provide the customers for South Africa.
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity. So, like the other races racing tonight, I'm a sim racer by heart. I've been doing this since before I had kids, and my kids are out of the home now, so that's been quite a few years. And I've been blown away at the growth of the quality of sim racing equipment, running from a keyboard to proper simulator equipment now that immerse you in the reality of racing is just simply astonishing. So for me, it's always been a case of getting the equipment for myself firstly, and then it grew from there to providing to buddies, and then later on to the sim racing community. So we provide Fanatic imports on that, and we provide we official dealer for Moza as well. Simnet racing pedals, excellent pedals. We all know how important decent low salt pedals are. We'll give some more positive news on that soon. And butt kicker immersive items to give you more sense of what the car is doing. And yes, the sim rigs we manufacture here in South Africa, we're very proud of them. It's properly done, and it makes a huge difference getting into a proper rig or mounting your equipment on a rig to feel like you're in a real race car.
Okay, well, so JP, we know that you're a leading supplier of sim racing equipment for South Africa. You also provide a sim racing tour of your equipment, including your rigs and of course the racing wheels and stuff. So, what plans do you have for the near future for Simulator Cave? Any surprises?
Yeah, we're super excited about that. We actually preparing a new cave now because the old cave is simply too small. We want more rigs and more opportunity for the guys to experience this stuff. So we've got a new property that we almost finished in preparing it, and it's going to be 120 square meters of showroom space where there will be different rigs and all the equipment on display, and then obviously to race with. So it's going to be, as far as I know, the first company in South Africa to do this, where you can look at the equipment and purchase it right there and then. Obviously, most of the stuff is purchased online, but a YouTube video simply cannot convey the reality of having the wheel in your hands, feeling the texture, smelling it, feeling the shifters, having the pedals, feeling the different mods that are on there, and sitting in a rig that's as comfortable as any GT car, and having a butt kicker giving you some more immersive feel. It's just completely different. So we invite anybody to pop in and experience. It's currently running, so although the new store is not open yet, where we are at the moment, we've got a couple of rigs set up, and the guys can experience it. The new one is going to be something quite special, a place to get together and have fun and race and get into the behind the steering wheel of the future.
Okay, and so you were speaking about where like your friends can meet and they can race together and stuff. But do you think it could go even further than that? Maybe like some sort of competitions or something, or I mean, because the sim centres that I know of really is, and it's quite new actually, is the Formula One arcade centres, which I'm not 100% sure sure is in South Africa, but certainly here in the UK they provide that, which is absolutely fantastic. But is there any like plans for that kind of thing at all, JP?
Yes, there's lots of requests for that. So, and the cool thing is it's going to be on proper high-end equipment. Yes, so you can. The plan is that soon we will have it open for booking. You can bring your friends and sit in high-end equipment, race online against one another. We're also looking at maybe hosting a race or two for the guys in Gauteng. They can maybe pop in and we can maybe book you online race so that you can race with the high-end equipment. So all of that is on the cards, and the whole idea is to get sim racers immersed into high-quality, high-end equipment.
Okay. Well, actually, speaking of rigs then, JP, so in SMA, we have actually got an awesome prize running where drivers can actually enter into a lucky draw raffle with only basically getting, only being able to enter after completing a race during the 2025 calendar of the SMA. So with a chance to win one of the builders' rigs that you provide. So JP, can you kindly tell us exactly what that entails, please?
Yeah, sure, gladly. Yeah, so the rig that we provide to the winner of that raffle is the Apex Simulator Cockpit. It's an aluminium frame, and as you know, there's different wheelbases and pedal sets. We will provide the lucky winner with the ideal wheelbase mount, whether it be a Fanatic side mount or a Moza front mount or a machined aluminium base mount for your Logitech or Thrustmaster. Whatever it may be, we will provide you with something special. The only thing you need to add is obviously your gear, and we provide you with a Vaser screen mount so you can fit quite a big TV, up to 43-inch TVs to that. We have different options for even bigger TVs if you want to go that way. And these rigs are all upgradable. You can add triple screen brackets, console and PC stands, keyboard and mouse stands. The seat that we provide with the rig is super comfortable. It's a proper bucket seat, but it's on seat sliders, and the backrest is adjustable. So it's like getting into a real GT car with a proper seating position. Adjust the seat, adjust the wheelbase mount, tilt, reach, height adjustable, and then you're away for a nice racing experience.
And can you like apply like any seats to these rigs, or is it kind of like specific to the actual rig?
No, look, we provide the seats. The prize comes supplied with a decent seat, but you can literally fit any seat on it, and we'll offer whoever wins. You can upgrade on our website. We have quite a few very nice seats, like real race car bucket seats, and various different types of seats with which looks good enough to fit in your Golf GTI or your Porsche 911. It's real cool seats. So you're welcome to upgrade it to a different seat if you want, the winner. And then obviously we invite the viewers and any customer to purchase online and browse the different setups available. And yes, you can actually buy the aluminium frame without a seat and then mount your own seat onto it. The aluminium frame provides a decent chassis so you can mount your equipment, so you can get flex-free detail to your hands. These days with the high-tech direct drives and the way that tracks are actually laser traced, the detail that comes through the wheel needs to be mounted properly to make sure that it's nice and solid. You don't lose any details coming to your hands.
Right, okay, fair play. I mean, that sounds like something I would need to purchase. Unfortunately, I'm not in South Africa, so I can't get involved with this. But what an awesome prize that would be for some of the drivers in the SMA. But just to reiterate as well, so the drivers that will be eligible to enter into this competition is if they complete just a single race in the SMA, but obviously more races that you complete, the more tickets that you can earn, which means it will give you a bigger chance to win one of these builder rigs. But it sounds so awesome though, JP, and yeah, best of luck to all the drivers out there. The date is to be announced, but I do hear that it will be towards the end of the 2025 racing calendar. So JP, really, I guess one of the last questions I've got for you here is any new exciting news or products that could be coming to Simulator Cave in the near future, particularly for those that are compatible for console, being as the SMA heavily involved in Gran Turismo 7 and PlayStation.
Yes, that's it's always a challenge for the guys. If you're on PC, you can literally mount any or mix and match pedals and wheelbases, etc. But if you're on console, obviously you need to have, if you're on Thrustmaster or Logitech, you need that specific brand's pedals. And as we know, pedals super important. Getting decent pedals makes a huge difference in your consistency and immersiveness. So we've partnered with Simnet for a while now, and at the start, Simnet, they've developed their pedals to be compatible with Fanatic wheelbases. So you can literally plug it in the back of the Fanatic wheelbase and run it on your console. There you go. High-end load cell pedals at a much better price. And the great news is now it's also compatible to all Thrustmaster wheelbases. So if you have a T300 or equivalent that you run on your PlayStation, you can now chuck your old Thrustmaster potentiometer type pedals and purchase a set of high-end Simnet pedals. Load cell can be calibrated. You can run haptics on them and run it through your wheelbase and get the best possible advantage in your next race.
And do you, so you mentioned that it's compatible with Thrustmaster, but do you see it ever being compatible with Logitech at all?
Well, that's the dream. So we're working with them. So we're not sure if that will happen, but that's definitely one of the aspects that we're pushing on, because we know probably most races start out with the Logitech steering wheel and pedal set, and those potentiometers give us a lot of problems. I'm sure all the racers will know about that. So yes, the dream and the work is pushing towards getting those pedals also compatible with Logitech wheelbases. So as soon as we have news on that, we'll communicate that. But in the meantime, definitely perfect for your Thrustmaster wheelbase and for even your Fanatic wheelbase.
Right, okay, interesting stuff. JP, I would wish to, continue with this topic. I mean, I could literally talk for days about sim equipment, but the race is going to be starting quite shortly, so we are unfortunately out of time for now. However, JP, thank you so much for your time, and again, thank you for that continued support you've been providing us throughout the years, really, and particularly in the SMA this year and South Africa in general. We hope to have you on again a bit later on in the broadcast, maybe to gather your thoughts on the race, and maybe, if we've got enough time, maybe sneak in some more questions, baby. But thank you so much, JP. It was great talking to you, and enjoy the race as well.
Thanks, Lord, much appreciated. Yeah, I'm super excited about this race, and again, big thanks to the management of SMA and for all the racers doing this and seeing our logo on the cars with this special livery. It is super special. I'm watching the race and I'm enjoying every minute of it.
Indeed, and definitely, JP. I mean, I think this is going to be one to remember, and it must feel so good to have all the special Simulator Cave liveries on the cars whizzing around the circuit, and I mean, I know a lot of hard work would have gone in here, so we say thank you to the teams, to the drivers as well, for their efforts, and JP, we'll speak to you soon.
Awesome. Enjoy.
Thank you, JP. Sorry about that, guys. Slight technical issue there. But a quick recap on this season in the MSA Cup 2025. So we are 4 weeks down into this 10-week championship, and today sees us take a trip up to California in North America for the round 5 of the MSA Cup in this special event at the world famous IMSA circuit of Laguna Seca. Nick, are we muted? Are we still muted, guys? If you can confirm with us, Parquet, if we're still muted, because that absolutely... okay, thank you very much. I know you guys are slightly behind us, aren't you? But yeah, I forgot to unmute us as we changed scenes there. So my apologies there. But yeah, this week we are at California for the round 5 of the MSA Cup at the world famous Laguna Seca. But next week on July the 14th sees us back in Europe for the beautiful sunny beaches of Croatia. But looks can be very deceiving as this place hosts one of the deadliest chicanes of all track rosters. It is, of course, a Dragon Trail Seaside for our new Group 3 one-make race. Then it's over to Japan for one time only on the 21st of July as we visit the Super GT haven of Autopolis. Then it's back to Europe for the final time as we head to Spielberg, Austria for the visit of the Red Bull Ring. The final different Group 3 one-make series of the championship to be held on the 28th of July before a short journey east across to neighbouring Italy on August the 4th for the Cathedral of Speed. We are in Monza, which then brings us to the grand finale of the MSA Cup for the second of our special events, where we head to France for Le Mans. Cars still to be decided, but will be held on August the 11th, which will declare our new champion for the 2025 season of the MSA Cup. So that is the roadmap for this season, but what have we got for tonight's race? Tazem, please fill us in with all the details.
Absolutely. So for today's race, we are at WeatherTech Laguna Seca. This is a 3.6 kilometer track located in Monterey, California. This track debuted all the way back in Gran Turismo 2, where it has been featured in every mainline game since. The current circuit is the 1996 to the current version. And this is a very short and it's a twisty circuit, and it has almost zero runoff. So if you go off track here, there's going to be several sand traps that are waiting to say hello to you. This track is famous due to its famous corkscrew corner. It features a 5.5-story drop over the course of just 450 feet. The track is currently owned by IMSA, and previous owner was Mazda, where it went by the name Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. And this track hosts a number of real-life series such as Can-Am, Trans Am, IROC, Endurance Racing, Formula 5000, NASCAR, and IndyCar, just to name a few.
And how about today's race settings, Susan?
All right, so for today's race, we're going to start off with a 10-minute quali. During the race, there's going to be a grid start with a false start check. Tire wear is 4X. The fuel consumption, if you can call it that, is set to 1X. And the refueling speed is 7. All racing tires are required, so the drivers are going to have to use the hards, mediums, and the softs in this race. And this is going to be a 40-lap race for the drivers.
Okay, and let's take a look at the car as well. So, Tuzum, if you can let us know what the car is.
All right, so this, I believe, is probably the most exciting part of this race. We are in the Volkswagen IDR. It is a fully electric car which has 670 horsepower. The unique feature of this car is that it has DRS, which is usable after 140 kilometers an hour. This car has extremely high downforce. It's got 900 front downforce and 1300 rear downforce, which is double what you would see in a Group 3 car. There's no mirrors and no in-game or in-car cameras on this car, so if you're driving in VR, it might be a little bit difficult. And this car has set numerous records, including the 2018 Pikes Peak hill climb record at 7 minutes and 57 seconds. It also has the current record for the fastest electric car around Nürburgring Nordschleife at 6 minutes and 5 seconds. And it also set the first sub 40-second time at the Goodwood hill climb at 39.9 seconds.
Thank you, Twosome. Okay, so with the race details confirmed, let's take a look at our Tier 1 lineup and the results from the last round. So the driver lineup for Tier 1 and the results from round 4 saw Tiernar Levitius record his second victory in a row with another impressive display. Thwarted the threat of Team VSR by a masterclass in strategy, kept it fast and consistent, and was able to pull away by a comfortable margin towards the end to really apply the pressure to VSR Richard, who leads the championship. He could only manage third after another close encounter with teammate JDJ, who managed to get the jump on Richard in the final embers of the race to finish in second, with Richard having to settle for third. However, still holds that 100% record of never finishing outside of a podium from the 4 races we've endured so far. Another great performance from Tiernar Panic Potato saw him finish in 4th in a very nervy and intense ending to the race. It was a 5-horse race in the closing stages, but managed to hold off VSR Gilla in 5th, Tiernar Papaya Racer in 6th, VSR Nitro Merlin in 7th, and Puma Neil in 8th, all separated by just a couple of seconds when they crossed the checkered line. In 9th was Tiernar Lightning Lorry, who made life look very easy in Tier 1, making his debut in the top tier of the MSA Cup. He never looked out of place, with a great performance to stay in Tier 1 for another week. Tiernar Latari finished in 10th, who perhaps didn't get the best of luck early on, involved in a collision that set him back several positions and had to claw his way back from the drop zone. But it was a great fight back to remain in Tier 1 for this week. The final Tier 1 position and escaping the drop was VSR Fis, who managed to hold off MGR Kennels, who looked strong in the final stint. Desperately tried to claw his way back, but in the end was too little too late, as now confirmed drivers of MGR Kennels in P12, Sam Jensen in P13, and VSR Wolfie in 14th, all finished in the drop zone to fall into Tier 2 for the final week before the tier lockdown. In steps in Tier 2 race winner MGR Rusty, second place finisher Puma Bridgens, opening his account for Tier 1, and third place finisher MGR Quinton Nell, also opening his Tier 1 account this week. Next week, we'll find out what that entails for the drivers as the drop round comes into effect, with the final accumulated points total to decide tier placement for all the drivers. But what does that mean for the points championship in Tier 1 for the MSA Cup after 4 rounds? So this means Tiernar Levitius has closed the deficit to VSR Richard at the top to just 6 points, meaning VSR Richard leads the championship with 1,190 points, with Tiernar Levitius in second with 1,184 points, with VSR JDJ just a further 3 points back with 1,181 points for third. Tiernar Papaya Racer cuts further adrift from the top 3 with 1,166 points in fourth, with VSR Fis up 1 position to 5th with 1,154 points, 2 points ahead of Tiernar Panic Potato, who rises 3 positions to 6th with 1,152 points. Puma Neil stays in 7th with 1,148 points, 10 points ahead of VSR Gilla, who moves up to 8th with 1,138 points, and in 9th we have teammate Nitro Merlin with 1,133 points, 6 points points in front of TNR Latari, who occupies 10th with 1,127 points. TNR Lightning Lorry moves up to 11th with 1,107 points, with MGR Rusty in 12th with 1,099 points. Puma Bridgens is in 13th with 1,092 points, and Quinton Nell in 14th with 1,065 points. It is worth mentioning that this is the Tier 1 standings and not a reflection on the overall standings that will be in place once the tiers go into lockdown. But best of luck to everyone in Tier 1 today. We'll be back in a few moments' time. Okay, so it looks like the drivers are just doing their final preparations ahead of this 10-minute qualifier in what is a very unusual combo in round 5 of the MSA Cup. Yeah, I mean, Tusum, before we get into this qualifying session, so what are your thoughts on these electric cars?
Yeah, their sound, I get it. They don't have that grunt like you get from a petrol engine, but I mean, these things are fast. They're 4-wheel drive, so they rocket out of corners. They have tons of grip. I think this is still going to be a great race. I mean, we're going to hear a lot of tire squealing, not the engines, but I still think this is an exciting combo, and we're really in for a treat today.
I think we are, but I think the battery is definitely going to be the all-important thing. Now, I've done a little bit of testing, and I was shocked at how quickly that battery drains away. So it is a case of managing your tyres, managing the battery, which is not the easiest thing to do when you want to stay fast. But certainly something that they won't have to think about during this qualifying session. They're also on the softest of the compounds, that is the soft tyres, so it's going to be interesting to see what kind of overall pace they have during qualifying, and then how that translates into the race. But I have been told that a lot of the drivers were sinking below that 1:10 margin, so I do wonder whether or not the drivers, now that they're under pressure, and this is where it counts, is whether or not we'll see sometimes absolutely blitz the 1:10 range, which is a very, very fast around this very tricky circuit of Laguna Seca in California on the west coast of America. So it looks like we're going to go on board with VSR Gilla then, who is going to be the first one to come across the line to start his hot lap. So we're going to get on board with him now, and we're going to see his movements and see how the masters really drive these machines. But yeah, I mean, Tusum, you are obviously one of these drivers that likes the unusual. I mean, where does this car stack up in terms of all the cars that you like on Gran Turismo?
Yeah, I don't drive it as much as I really want to, but it really is a fun car to drive. I myself took it around this circuit, and I managed to just barely get a 111 flat. So to see these guys going a second plus faster than that, it's phenomenal what these guys are capable of. But yeah, I mean, 70 seconds, it's a really short lap. They're going to get a good number of attempts. So I fully expect to see 2, maybe even 3 drivers dipping under that 70-second time frame.
Okay, well, Gillo just coming around the final turn, and now then we'll see what sort of time he's going to grab as he comes across the line now. It's a 1 minute 11.3. We got RSA Rusty, the next to come across the line now. He's going to set a 1 minute 10.8 to go onto pole position. JDJ now just about to come across the line. 1 minute 10 flat for JDJ, so a lot quicker from him. And it looks like Panic Potato has propelled himself up into second position with a 1 minute 10.5. So the times now coming in thick and fast. We've got Latari Racing. In fact, we got Richard in P6, Latari Racing P7, Lightning Lorry P9. We got Neil in P9, but Levitius comes across the line only for P2 at the moment. He is currently nearly half a second down on VSR JDJ, but we are very, very early into this qualifying session, just 3 minutes in, so still many opportunities to get them lap times in, but I do envisage that the drivers will be changing boots quite frequently, because the electric cars of the Volkswagen IDR very harsh on them soft tyres. So we're going to see if Levitt is going to set one more time before he gets onto new boots. But as he comes through sector 2, he is about half a tenth up. Half a tenth purple, in fact. So he's definitely up on his time. And can he overthrow JDJ to propel himself up into pole position? Because Lightning Lorry has propelled himself up into second, but there's Levitius with a sub 1 minute 10 to go onto pole position and set the fastest time in qualifying so far, Tusum.
It's interesting to see some drivers, they opted to immediately reset to the pits after their first lap. But I see some of the drivers that set a second lap on that same set of soft tires are actually improving. So I'm wondering if maybe, I don't know if it's possible, but maybe they're just getting a little bit more heat in the tires on that second lap, and they're opting to do that extra push lap to maybe catch a few extra tenths.
Yeah, very, very interesting. I mean, we're talking about a pretty short lap here, so any kind of advantages that they can truly seek to get, I think they'll be pushing the track limits and really just trying to grab them extra tenths to get as high up as possible. Now, we know with Laguna Seca, it's a very difficult track to pass on. Not too many opportunities. I can only really think of maybe turn 1, that could be, sorry, not turn 1, turn 2, as it's labelled on their official track stats, the Andretti turn. And that's about it really. Maybe up the hill for the Corkscrew, but I mean that's quite risky in itself, as VSR Richard goes a little bit quicker with a 1 minute 10.5 to move himself up into P6, as we got Chaz just moves up into P3. I didn't see that actually. 1 minute 10.1 from him, and Levitius still on pole position right now by just over half a tenth. So we've got 4 minutes left of qualifying, so still a long way to go, but we'll see if we can find a driver that is approaching the start-finish line. I think we have got one here, which is Quinton now. Now he's making his debut in Tier 1, but he's just finished his outlap. So currently right now, P14, he is 1.7 seconds down on Levitis, so that will make it a 1:11.7. So he's got some work to do from this point on, but we still got 3.5 minutes to go as he runs wide, so that's going to cost him that time on that lap. So luckily he'll have at least one more attempt to put in a lap, but not ideal preparation for him, Tusum.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. You know, it's really easy to mess up here. Again, like this track has very little runoff, so you touch that dirt, it's really going to affect your entries or your exit coming out of corners. So it's unfortunate, but yeah, he'll have at least one more attempt, so we'll see if he can improve on that P14.
Indeed we will. Indeed we will. And yeah, just reading down the grid as well. So Puma Bridgens P7, VSR FIS in P8. But the time's very, very close, I have to say. We're talking 6.5 tenths separating the top 8, or just under a second the top 9. In fact, the top 10. So there you go, top 10 separated by a second, and then Giller, who has actually improved now, up into P11, 1.1 seconds down, so a 1:11 flat for him. Latari racing down in P12 at the moment, just starting a new hot lap, and we got Nitro Merlin P13, who has set one lap with a 1 minute 12.2, but knows he's got to do a lot better than that. So let's see if we can find somebody else coming across the line. And that is Giller, that is an out lap. We got Rusty on an out lap as well. And Lightning Lorry doesn't improve, remains in P5, but so far really good qualification from him. Chaz is off the road right now at the Corkscrew, so just allowing drivers through, but he has got rear bumper damage or rear aero damage, so it may be his qualifying session over, I think, because I don't think they're going to have enough time to set another lap. So the current drivers on circuit right now is Levitis and JDJ, so will roles be reversed? I'm not sure. JDJ goes a little bit wide. He's got a bit of traffic as well, which is definitely not going to help his cause. I do wonder whether or not he's lost a little bit too much time on this lap, though. Levitius is a little bit further behind, but he has got that lap in hand. He should be able to set a time if needed. Chaz is on the out lap. I don't think he's going to have enough time to set another lap. And the same with Panic Potato as well. It's not looking likely. He may just fit it in. There is a 30-second cooldown after the allotted 10 minutes. So I think he may... No, I don't think he's going to sneak it in, actually. Not unless he sets a world record. So that is out of the question. And JDJ goes back into the pit. Same with Levitius. And yeah, I think... Yeah, VSR Richards not going to have enough time. Fish will have enough time. He's got front aero damage though, so that is going to hinder his progress. He goes into the pits. RSA Rusty, not enough time either. So that is qualifying done in tier 1 for this evening. Levitius on pole position with VSR, JDJ in second, Chaz in third, with Panic Potato P4, Puma Racing Nil P5, Lightning Lorry P6, VSR Richard P7, and Puma Bridgens P8. So yeah, we'll be back very, very shortly, guys. So just to confirm the results, then Levitius will start on pole position with that blistering 1 minute 9.975, just over half a tenth quicker than VSR JDJ, who is going to be starting alongside him in second position. On row 2, we've got Chaz with that 1 minute 10.1, which is 1 tenth quicker than TNR Panic Potato, who's going to be starting alongside him on row 2 from fourth position. Puma Racing Nil will be starting from 5th, and Lightning Lorry starting from 6th from row 3. Row 4 sees us with VSR Richard, which is a bit of a surprise, starting from 7th position, with Puma Bridgens starting alongside him. Puma Bridgens, of course, making his debut in Tier 1 for the MSA Cup for this round, starting alongside him in 8th position. On row 5, we've got VSR Fish, who is starting in 9th position ahead of RSA Rusty, who is back in Tier 1 for the second time this season. He starts from 10th position. On row 6, we've got VSR Nitro Merlin starting from P11, with teammate Giller starting alongside him in 12th position. Then on the final row, we have got Latari Racing starting from 13th position ahead of debutee Quinton Nell, starting from the back of the grid in 14th position. But what are your thoughts on qualifying, Tusum, ahead of this 40-lap race here at Laguna Seca?
Yeah, I'm looking at the back half of the grid, and the VSR guys, I'm a little surprised to see them so far down the grid. They're going to have their work cut out for them to try to make up positions here, because as you mentioned earlier, passing here is going to be extremely difficult between the dirty air and that DRS. It's going to play a really big part. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see what they can do. It's a long race. The tire strategies could definitely come into play. Yeah, can't wait to see how it all shakes out.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely going to be an interesting one. This is a weird position for the drivers to be in these electric cars. There's definitely going to be a lot of battery saving and tyre saving as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see who's better at saving the battery and the tyres over the other drivers who may be better on pace. Who knows? Are we going to see one strategy, or is there going to be multiple strategies? I guess we're going to find out in a few moments' time. Back in a second. Okay, so as we await the red lights, then it's going to be Levitius and JDJ starting at the front on row 1. As the lights go out, and away we go to start round 5 of the MSA Cup at Laguna Seca. JDJ on the inside of Levitius, but Levitius with a nose ahead. JDJ up the inside. Is he going to take the race lead? Yes, he does, with a brilliant move. Levitius is still on the outside. That's going to be the inside line for the next turn, and Levitius takes that position away from JDJ. So it's roles reversed right at the start of the race. Penny Potato up into P3 ahead of his teammate Chaz in P4, with Lightning Lorry still in P5 ahead of Puma Racing Nil in P6, RSA Rusty in P7 with Puma Bridges in P8, VSR Richard in P9, Giller in P10, Fist in P11, Nitro Merlin down into P12, Latari Racing in 13th, and Quinton Nell at the back of the grid in 14th. But back to the top of the grid, looks like there's a bit of a push between Levitius and JDJ at the Corkscrew. We're going to save a replay of that, but Levitius for the time being does inherit the race lead then ahead of his teammate Penny Potato in P2. JDJ down into P3 then as a result, with Chaz in P4 all over the back bumper of him as Chaz goes massively wide on the exit of the last turn of lap 1. So yeah, it is as tight as can be. As Penny Potato looked like he was sizing up an opportunity on his teammate, backed out at the last minute, but now has JDJ for company. Let's get on board with the car view then. So yeah, very close between the front two, but Paddy Potato goes wide on the exit. That's going to cost him time. JDJ now all over the back bumper of Panic Potato, hunting him down for that second position. Chaz meanwhile not too far behind in P4. Puma Racing Nil with a little bit of a gap now in P5. Rusty P6. Lightning Lorry actually down into P7. I'm sure he was P5 a bit earlier on, so maybe a mistake from him, with Puma Bridge into P8. VSR Richard, Puma Bridge is just holding off VSR Richard. VSR Richard down 2 positions from the start of the race then. So it's all kicking off as Puma Bridges goes a bit squirrely on the exit there, just catching a little bit too much of the curb, but just managing to hold on to that 8th position with VSR Richard Richard waiting for an opportunity to take place. But Giller 10th and Nitro Moon in P11, Vast in P12. So very, very close between the 5 drivers there, with Latari Racing and Quinton Nell to the back of them as well. So I think we may need to have a look on the replay very shortly. But Susan, anything that you can see from your point of view at the moment?
I was just about to mention Rusty. He went up from P10 to P6 at the start of the race. He went wide coming out of turn 4 and just dropped to P7. Lightning Laurie takes over P6 from him. Yeah, most of the back markers, they stay relatively clean, but they're all on the hard tires. So we'll see the race come to them a little bit later on once they get onto those softer compound tires.
All right, okay, let's see if we can get a replay of the start, because that was very, very interesting between Levitius and JDJ. So let's get on board with JDJ. Oh, and he got very late on the brakes there, and kind of just about halted the car mid-corner, but got a very slow exit. And there was Panic Potato to take full advantage and take that position away from him. And it is a line astern at the moment as well. So Chaz, in fact, has Chaz moved up into P3 then, from JDJ now in P4. This is all happening very, very quickly at the start of this race. We're only on lap 4 of 40 right now. Panic Potato is all over the back bumper of Levitius, so showing a very good early pace. Now, is Levitius just saving his tyres, saving his battery? And I do wonder whether or not Panic Potato is using quite a fair bit of that battery, but they are starting on the soft tyres. Now, the interesting thing is the soft tyres, well, they're not going to last too long. We do predict that the soft tyres will last about 12 laps if you manage them correctly, but we'll have to wait and see whether or not these drivers have been pushing too hard or not. But so far, top 3 of Levitius, Panic Potato and Chaz, with JDJ in P4, 1.6 seconds adrift of Chaz now, so perhaps JDJ save it. Oh, and Puma Racing Neil, P5 with Lightning Lorry up into P6 now, so very close between the 2 drivers. RSA Rusty in P7, but it did look like Neil looking very competitive right now. Lightning Lorry all over the back bumper of him, though, who is going to provide all types of pressure to the Puma driver in front of him. But Puma Bridgens P8 looking like he is comfortably in that 8th position. VSR Richard not having the best of races at the moment, P9, which is definitely going to hamper his championship standings should it remain like this for the rest of the race. We have got a long way to go though, however, so he can make up positions in the meantime. But Giller just behind in P10, Nitro Merlin P11 as well, so very close between the 4 cars. And then a bit of a gap to Fish in P12, Latari Racing with a bigger gap in P13, and Quinton now really struggling at the back of the grid right now, 3 seconds adrift of nearest rival Latari. So back to the top of the grid then, Levitius still with that 3/10 of a second lead. Looking at the situations of the battery, and this is very, very important to see. So Levitius with slightly less than Panic Potato. Chaz has got more than the duo in front of him. JDJ roughly about the same as Chaz. Neil saving a fair bit, but then Lightning Lorry with the most I've seen as he goes a bit scribbly on the exit, and that means that Rusty will close in on him and put him under all types of pressures. Rusty goes slightly wide on the exit, but stays on the circuit for the time being as we go up the hill now for this very tricky left-hander, where you really don't want to be cutting that corner, because that can make your car very, very unstable and could put you into a wall. But so far so good, negotiated well from all the drivers so far. Puma Bridgens with a fair old gap to Rusty now, with Richard now looking to close in on Puma Bridgens. We'll have to wait and see, but any further updates so far, Tucson?
I've been keeping a close eye on the back half of the grid, all the hard tire runners. They're averaging high 12, low 13 second lap times. Excuse me, minute 12, minute 13. So I think everybody's just trying to maintain their hard pace, which I think that's about where they want to be. And yeah, again, they're just waiting the time to hop onto those softer tires and start making some of that ground up.
Okay. Well, we're going to go back to the top of the grid then, because that seems to be the closest battle that I can see. Of course, both teammates of TNR. So, yeah, Levitius holding off Panic Potato for the time being. But I do wonder whether or not they are saving enough of that battery. Of course, they're saving grace as JDJ goes, wow, he goes massively off track there. I'm pretty sure he was out of track limits there, but maybe the track limits are a little bit better around Laguna Seca, perhaps. Yeah, JDJ currently P4 at the moment. He's the fastest VSR driver out there in the minute, because it does seem like VSR are struggling for pace at the moment, which is a real surprise to me. We've got Puma Racing Neil in P5, Lightning Lorry not too far behind in P6, and then there is a bit of a gap, and that is where a bit of a train is forming. Rusty is 1.4 seconds behind Puma Bridgins, but a further 4.5 seconds behind nearest rival, driver in front of him, Lightning Lorry. Puma Bridgins P8 at the moment. He is now got VSR Richard for company, as I said, and I think Richard may be saving a lot of battery here, and we do know with VSR Richard that he is certainly a driver that is all about strategy, I'd say. You know, he's got extreme pace normally, and normally when it comes to the race, he's the one that does the most fuel saving. Now, obviously, it works a little bit differently in this race because there's no fuel. It's all about electricity, you know, it's very difficult to save electricity when there's no fuel map. So, I mean, Tusum, I mean, do you know anything about saving the tyres, saving the battery as well? I mean, what would be the advice? What do you think the drivers are doing to save that battery?
Well, I think what the drivers are going to do, they're probably going to do a little lift and coast entering corners, and maybe just braking slightly less than 100%, maybe going around 80 to 90% just to get a little more regen in those batteries. I'm not sure how much that difference will make, but I mean, when drivers are separated by a few tenths, those small little adjustments could mean the difference between a podium and being off of the podium.
Yeah, indeed. And yeah, just I'm trying to like look at all the battery lives between the cars right now. Now, obviously, one thing to notice is the different tyres. Now, Quinton now he's started on the hard tyres with Latari Racing, Fish, Nitro, Merlin with his teammate for company. They're operating in P11 and P12 at the moment, but they're all on the hard tyres with Giller actually in P10. Also Richard as well on the hard tyres. So something I didn't actually take into consideration then is obviously there's a big difference between the racing hards and the racing soft tyres. So VSR Richard with perhaps not the best qualifying session from him, playing the long game, so maybe he'll come back into the race as the stints and the laps unfold. So yeah, Puma Bridgins also on the racing hards. Then it's the turn of the medium drivers of RSA Rusty in P7, and then actually I think the rest. No, Puma Racing Neil. I do apologise there. Puma Racing Neil on the medium tyres then, and is in front of Lightning Lorry, who is on the soft tyres. Now you can see the tyre degradation of the soft runners. Well, the tyres are screaming for dear life as we are about to finish a lap 10 of 40. So yeah, we did predict roughly about the 12 lap range is how long the softs will last. Yeah, Puma Racing Neil doing a great job then in 5th position, 7.6 seconds down on Levitius, who is currently leading the race. He has got a gap of just under 4 seconds to JDJ, but JDJ also on the medium tyres. So again, something I didn't spot there, but JDJ on the medium tyres just behind Chaz, and this is where the medium tyres do start to come into play, because them soft tyres are going to feel horrible for Chaz right now. You can see that he's barely got any grip left on that front right tyre. So literally that car is going to want to understeer wide, and this is putting JDJ in a great position right now as we get on the onboard now.
We got to move for P8. VSR Richard just overtook Bridges into the Andretti hairpin to take P8 from, excuse me, VSR Richard took P8 from Bridges going into the first hairpin.
Yeah, okay, thank you for that. I've just saved the replay, so we'll see if we can get a good on board of exactly what happened there. But good spot there, Tucson. Let's have a look on the replay. So there was a VSR Richard then, and it looked like he had good grip, but there was a slight bit of contact which kind of pushed Puma Bridgens a little bit wide and deep into the turn. So I don't know if that was a little bit of lag from my end or not. I'm not really sure. But VSR Richard up into P8, Puma Bridgens down into P9.
We got Chaz coming into the pits at the end of lap 11. We expected the soft runners to get 12 laps out of their softs.
Yeah.
So one of his stints is going to have to get an extra lap out of that that battery tank, which we expect really only lasts about 14 laps here.
And VSR Richard has got a half a second penalty as well for cutting track limits. So, yeah, not good for Richard. However, he is on the hard tyres. Yeah, definitely surprised that Chaz only got 11 laps. But, of course, we was looking at his tyre delta there. And certainly the tyres were looking worse for wear. So it does mean that either on the hards or on the mediums, he's going to have to go one lap further, which is certainly a tall order, I think. But we'll see how Chaz gets on. Maybe he has got a plan up his sleeve. But yeah, so far, yeah, Rusty trying to hold off VSR Richard, who is starting to make inroads. So the drivers on the soft tyres are starting to come in. Levicius and Panic Potato coming in from P1 and P2 respectively, with not much wear left on them tyres, of course, expected after 12 laps. So that means the medium runners will come flying past. Then JDJ is up into provisional race lead with a 4.3 second lead over Puma Racing Neil in second position. Then there's a big gap to Rusty. We're talking 11 seconds separating Neil to Rusty for P2 and P3 respectively. VSR Richard now propels himself up into fourth, the first of the hard runners then, and actually looking pretty good at the minute. We suspect that the drivers will be running roughly about 14 laps on the hard tyres, and it's quite a tall order really to get more than 14 laps on the battery that's in these Volkswagen IDRs. So I'll be very surprised if they run any longer on them hard tyres, but we know that VSR Richard is full of surprises. Puma Bridgens are also up into P5 and Giller up into P6. Nitro Merlin as well at the back of that train in 7th position. But they are a line astern at the moment, the two VSR drivers. They'll be looking to hunt down Puma Bridgens and maybe steal that position away from him. Then we got Fish in P8. Also looks like he's closing in to the back of them drivers, but you can see with the well, it's not the fuel, it's the battery. You can see now he's flashing away. Giller doesn't look like he's got too much battery left in that car. He looks like he is struggling there. He's going to have to really save on the battery there if he is going to make it around the lap. So that is going to be an interesting one. VSR Richard as well, with not too much left either. He may be struggling as well. I think certainly RSA Rusty is certainly going to be struggling to finish the lap. He may just about do it, but it's going to be tight. And there's Puma Racing Neil as well. He's run out of battery. Pretty sure he's run out of battery there. Yes, he has. Look at,
he is, yes.
Yes, look how slow he's going now. So Rusty will be catching up to the likes of Neil then, who's currently P3, but that time is going to come dwindling down. There's Neil just entering the pits now. Look how much time he's lost there, as Rusty will also come into the pits now from 3rd position, and VSR Richard also coming in from 4th position. So it looks like they're all coming in now. So where Neil had quite a comfortable lead over to Rusty is now really closed up the gap. Tucson.
Yeah, so I actually got eyes on Lev. He actually has a half-second penalty that he's about to serve right now, so he might be losing that lead to Panic Potato down this main straight. So he may have pulled out enough of a gap to stay in front. It looks like Lev is safe for now, but that half-second penalty could have been catastrophic for his race.
Yeah, it could have been, but for the time being, and I think luckily Panic Potato being his teammate, so I know that Levi probably can trust him to not go for any bold manoeuvres. But yeah, certainly the gap has come dwindling down to about 0.3 of a second. So yeah, definitely this is very, very interesting, because this is not what we're used to. We're not used to using a battery for sure, and certainly these cars as well. I mean, I've never seen this combo at Laguna Seca, so trying to save the tyre life as well and not extend track limits, it's going to be very, very tricky. And Levitius became a cropper when it came to that, that is for sure. But yeah, currently still leading the race, so still in a very, very good position. Chaz also not too far behind, currently about 2 seconds behind in P3. JDJ in P4, 2.5 seconds adrift of Chaz, and then there is a big gap actually to Lightning Lorry. Now
Rusty messing up in the corkscrew. He just lost P7 to VSR Richard.
Right, okay.
Richard on the softer tires, he used that extra grip and kind of put Rusty in a bit of a disadvantaged position. And he got a little sideways coming out of corkscrew, and
he's gone
Richard
deep
was
as
able to
well.
take advantage of that.
And Rusty's gone deep out of the final turn, and there was a Giller to take full advantage down the inside up into P8. So Rusty losing 2 positions in half a lap. Then we've got a very close battle as well for 10th position. Puma Bridgens is trying to hold off VSR Nitro Merlin, who is now looking very, very good. He's got his teammate just behind him as well in 12th. But yeah, certainly Bridgens now, you know, he's going to have Nitro Merlin firmly in his mirrors, and it is now a case of holding that nerve really, and just making the car as wide as possible as we go up the hill. Now I don't think Nitro Merlin's going to go for the move there, so it looks like they're going to remain in. Hold on, what has happened to Rusty? Rusty's had a moment. And there's going to be contact! Contact to Puma Bridges! Bridges goes sideways, and Puma Bridges loses positions. We're going to save the replay. I was going to show the other replay. That looks like, Puma Racing Neil as well has gone off. Puma Racing Neil's gone off. He's lost many a position, and well, I haven't got enough room to save the replays. So Puma Racing Neil's had a issue there, and he has lost about 5 positions because Latari Racing is up the inside of him to move up into P12. Neil down into P13. We just literally hit the replay, the save replay button just before Neil made his mistake there, so I can't really see that, but we do need to see what happened to Rusty though, so let's just take a look on that replay. And looked like Rusty didn't get the best of entries, and there was well, he got very, very late on the brakes, maybe had dirty tyres as well, and wow, I mean, that was a bit of a mess in the corkscrew, I have to say. I might actually revisit the replay there and there's Neil in the background there as he went off. So yeah, just a bit of a catastrophic moment for a lot of the drivers. I'm going to see if I can get a better angle of this as I struggle to get on board. But yeah, that was a big moment between the 4 drivers. Very, very messy. I think there could be a stewards inquiry that could be deemed at the end of the race, I think. But for now, these are the positions. So we've got VSR Richard up into P6 now. Giller P7. Bridgens Bridgens just losing a position to Fish. So again, it's all change at the back end of the grid. Puma Bridges seems like he's involved in a lot of chaos right now.
JDG's off. JDG's off in the corkscrew. He was making a move on Chaz for P3, but it looks like he may have went a bit wide. I'm not sure he was nudged wide, but yeah, he went off, but didn't lose too much time. He's about a second behind Chaz now.
Right, okay. Well, yeah, it was a bit too late for me to get to the replay. So we're going to get on the replay for Puma Bridges to see exactly what happened to him there, as he does try to fight off Nitro Merlin, who is causing chaos for Puma Bridges as he looks to fight him off and hold on to that 9th position. Shall we get onto the replay quickly? Let's have a quick look. So it was Vartovic who had the inside line, and well, it looks like Puma Bridges just got very, very late on the brakes there, and Fish took full advantage to move up a position to P8. Yeah, I don't know if we've missed anything since I've just looked at the replay, Twosome. Any other changes that you saw?
No, top 6 are still mostly line to stern. JDJ is trying desperately to get around Chaz. He's on the softer compound tire, so him being stuck in that dirty air from Chaz is really going to affect his tire race. So he's going to want to try to get around him as quickly as possible so he can really put those softs to use.
Right, okay. Well, I mean, typically there is, well, it's going to be at least a 2-stopper because the hards, the mediums, and the softs are all required for this race. So, so right now, Giller and Fish are the ones that are looking very fast at the moment, as well as VSR. Richard actually
picked up another half-a-second penalty.
Who was that? Sorry.
Lev. He's just got another half-second penalty.
Oh, okay. Okay, so maybe pushing that little bit too much at the moment, and that's all it takes is a wheel off or off the white line can give you that half-a-second penalty, and he's going to have to serve it on this lap. So Panny Potato in close proximity of him could develop the race lead for the very first time. There you can see the bar coming up now, so the Vicious will be serving it on this lap with a Panny Potato just it was half a second there. It has extended somewhat since, but Levic is going to serve that penalty now. Here's the opportunity for Panic Potato to take the race lead. They're going to be side by side, but it does look like Panic Potato will inherit the race lead unless he's just going to let Levi through. Levi goes a little bit deep though and compromised Panic Potato's line, and Panic Potato had to let him through in the end, but I'm quite surprised that Panic Potato didn't try to take the race lead there. It looked like he just thought, you know what, I'm just going to hand it back to Levitius. So definitely teamwork there, but I do wonder whether or not they lost a bit of time there, and unneeded time there, to be honest. But nevertheless, though, the gap between Panic Potato and JDJ is roughly 4 seconds. So still a healthy lead at the top of the grid. JDJ is on the soft tyres. You would expect him to be a little bit faster at this stage of the race. However, the tyre degradation is starting to kick in now, and this is where the car gets slower and slower. Now, when we look at the lap delta, so he is the fastest man on the circuit with the fastest lap time for 1 minute 10.2, but you can see that the times are starting to gradually get slower and slower. So his last time was a 1 minute 12.4. As he comes across the line now, he probably will go quicker actually, 1 minute 11.5. so he must have made a mistake on the last lap, but even then, you are talking about 1.3 seconds off of his fastest lap time. So he is going to be a little bit slower at this stage of the race. However, looking at the times from Levitius and Panic Potato, they're roughly lapping in the 1 minute 12 range. So actually JDJ is still closing that gap a little bit. But yeah, he's now going to have traffic from RSA Rusty, who finds himself in the 14th position, which is absolutely crazy, to be honest. He is 1 minute 14 down on the race leader. Now, he has got a new fresh set of racing soft tyres. However, we're on lap number 21. We've got blue flags. So yeah, blue flags for Rusty as JDJ does approach him. So we'll see if he does move out of the way in a safely manner. But yeah, certainly his race going from bad to worse. So Quinton Nell, of course, on the medium tyres at the moment, currently P13. Now, I'm just trying to think from Rusty's perspective here. So he is literally just changed tyres. So he must have had a moment. He must have crashed and developed damage, and maybe he's going for a three-stopper perhaps. I'm not 100% sure. If anyone can let us know in chat and try to work out what's happened to him. But oh my god, he goes a bit squirrely on the exit. Oh, I thought he was going to lose control of that car, but just about managed to keep it facing forwards. But yeah, currently in no man's land, 19.5 seconds adrift of 13th. Levicius, oh, it looked like he went a little bit wide there, but gets away with it. Levicius with a half a second lead over his teammate Panic Potato. Yeah, very similar in battery, but actually when you look at Levitius, his battery is considerably worse than Panic Potato. So 1.2 seconds is the lead, but Levitius, the way he's going, he may have to pit quite shortly. Now we know he started on the soft tyres, so the medium tyres he should be running 14 laps, so that'll take him to lap number 26. Now has he got enough battery to last him until lap number 26? That will be 3 laps that he needs to do, so I think he may do, but it's going to be close. Panic Potato did get past Rusty. JDJ is coming up to him now. He's 3.2 seconds behind in third. Chaz in P4, bit of a lonely race for him, and again quite low on the battery, as I would imagine most of the drivers will be at this stage. Lightning Lorry doing an excellent job, P5 at the moment, 7 seconds down on Chaz, but 3.3 seconds in front of VSR Richard in P6. Richard, well, he is in P6, but this is the stage of the stint where the tyres will be crying for help, and yeah, currently 3.4 seconds adrift of Lightning Lorry. He has got VSR Giller just behind him on the same strategy, but look at his tyres though, them front right tyres not looking good at the moment. I would imagine they also would need to get another 3 laps or so, isn't it? I mean, it's going to be difficult for the drivers to do one extra than the allotted 14 laps, because I know in my testing, Susan, I know that I ran out when I tried to do 14 laps. Now I know that some people might be capable, as Giller just picks up a half a second penalty for cutting track limits, which is not good news for him, as he would have liked to have stayed on the back of VSR Richard. But I know that I struggled to get 14 laps on the battery charge. Now trying to get 15 laps on the battery charge, I mean, that is a tall order, I have to say.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of lift and coast, a lot of long braking. Definitely going to have to make a few adjustments that you wouldn't normally do if you're driving a like your standard Group 3 car, for example. One thing I did want to note about Rusty, he was carrying damage from that kerfuffle a few laps earlier. He had rear wing damage. Looked like he was trying to stick it out, but ultimately I guess he just thought he was losing too much pace. So yeah, he came in for some new softs, and I do believe he is still owed a medium stint.
Right, okay. So yeah, interesting from Rusty, because I would have thought maybe get the get all the tyres out of the way, and then, you know, whatever laps you got left, then you can kind of judge on what tyre to go on next. But yeah, no, he's decided to go on the soft tyres. He's maybe thinking, look, I need to claw back the deficit. As didn't Panic Potato get past Rusty originally? I'm pretty sure Potato did get past him, but it looks like Rusty is now in front of Potato. So I do wonder whether or not there's been any unfair play at all. I'm not sure, but normally you don't see the laps car unlap themselves unless one of the drivers has made a mistake. So yeah, interesting. But Levitius now 3.3 seconds. So actually, maybe Panic Potatoes made a mistake, because there was only about a second of a gap. Now it's 3 seconds. So Panic Potatoes clearly made a mistake somewhere. The gap is 3.9 seconds to JDJ. But JDJ's tyres, look at them tyres, just not good at all. He should be pitting at the end of this lap, as Levitius comes in from the race lead with Panic Potato as well. Both just about got enough battery to make it into the pits. JDJ also into the pits, and yeah, them tyres looked very, very bad towards the end. Chaz also comes in from P4, Lightning Lorry in from P5. And then we got VSR Richard just coming in as well on them soft tyre stint. Giller also coming in. I mean, he had nothing on that front right tyre. I don't know how he managed to keep the car on track there. Puma Bridgens though stays out for the time being. He's on the medium tyres, so he is going to go a little bit further on this stint. But actually, when we consider Puma Bridgens, then did he not start? Oh no, actually he's doing the 14-14-12, isn't he? So he's got two more laps to go. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Okay, so he's got a 2-second lead over Levitius then, who comes out in second position on the hard tyres. So we know he's going to go long on that stint. 14 laps is the prediction, and we've got 14 laps remaining, so that is on course. 2.3 seconds is the lead over Panic Potato, who has closed in slightly from that pit stop. And also on the hard tyres, JDJ on the hard tyres, who is 3.7 seconds adrift. We've got Puma Racing Neil in P5 now. I mean, he's up into P5, but he does need to make that pit stop. He's got very little battery left. He manages to claim that position off of Chaz, who's already made his pit stop, who's on the fresh hard tyres. Neil on the more worn hard tyres with not too much battery left, but we do think that he will do at least another lap if he can make it this time, because he didn't make it last time. So we'll see if he can learn from past mistakes and save a little bit more of that battery. But then we've got Lightning Lorry in P7, 8.9 seconds adrift of Chaz. He has got a certain VSR Richard just behind him now in P8. In fact, Lightning Lorry's on the hard tyres, Richard's on the medium tyres, so it does look like that Richard is trying to size up an opportunity on the TNR driver in front of him, Lightning Lorry, as he does defend, but he goes deep. Richard's going to try one up the inside. There's a slight bit of contact, and it does push Lightning Lorry slightly wide as Richard takes that position away from him to move up into P7. We're going to have a quick look on the replay just to see whether or not it was lag or not, but it did look a little bit what is the word? A little bit controversial, maybe? I don't know. Quinton now up into P9 at the moment. He's just 1.6 seconds down on Lightning Lorry. He's on the medium tyres, but he does need to stop very, very shortly. We've got Gillard in P10, and he's on fresh boots, of course, medium tyres. Fish on medium tyres, also new boots. Rusty P12. He will need to stop again as he goes wide again, and Rusty not having the best of things in this race. He's really struggling out there in 12th position. Latari Racing P13 for him. He is
Nacho Merlin just spun.
What? Oh,
he's now in last place.
Okay, can we get a replay of that? Let's have a look.
Yeah, I didn't quite get there in time, but I saw he was accelerating from a standstill. It was a reset. Yeah, when you spend too much time off track, if you do it long enough here, the game will reset you to a few previous corners.
Yeah, that's, I mean, don't like to be mean, but that is what you get if you do abuse the track limits around here. Although you can get away with a lot, you know, if you abuse it too much, that is what happens. And yeah, he got reset and is in 12th because inherits that 12th because Puma Racing Neil comes out from the pits in 13th. So he's going to have Nitro Merlin for company. 7.5 tenths is the gap between the two of them. Neil, though, of course, on the soft tyres, so he should be quicker as Nitro Merlin goes wide, very wide, and Neil, well, with a very easy pass there, as easy as it ever could be, moves up into P12. So Nitro Merlin down into P13, and his race is going from bad to worse. Quinton Nell is in P14. He will be closing that gap, but it is quite a healthy gap for Nitro Merlin. It's still 8.2 seconds, but as he tries to shake off that dust off his tyres, he hasn't quite got that grip to get up to full speed. But yeah, not good from Nitro Merlin. An absolute nightmare couple of laps for him. But yeah, we've got 10 laps remaining in this race. Levitius with a healthy gap to Panic Potato. 3.4 seconds is the lead, and I have to say, to some, you know, with Levitius already with 2 wins in the bag, and this could be possibly number 3, and with Richard currently in P5 at the moment, we could have a new leader at the top of the championship come the end of the race. But yeah, certainly Panic Potato, again, very good performance from Panic Potato. Ever since he's coming into Tier 1, he's been very good. He's been very impressive, and this will certainly be his best result of the season if he can remain in that second position. We have got JDJ just behind him, 2.4 seconds as he goes very wide out of turn number 4. But yeah, JDJ really extending the track limits there, which he's going to be losing him time as he obviously caught a couple of tyres on the dirt there. So JDJ is pushing hard, but yeah, certainly that is not the way of doing it with the gap at 2.6 seconds. Chaz as well, P4 for him, 10.4 seconds adrift of JDJ. He's in a very comfortable P4. He doesn't really have to worry too much on the hard tyres as well. 1 minute 13s for him. VSR Richard though is on the softer of the compounds. 5.4 seconds is the gap between them two, so things could get very tasty in the closing stages between Chaz and Richard. I would imagine that the mediums will be maybe about a second a lap quicker than the hard tyres. So yeah, definitely VSR Richard is going to come into play here, and he will need to as well, Tucson, because as I mentioned with Levitius, if he stays in that position, 3rd win on the bounce. There was a 6-point gap between Levitius and VSR Richard at the top of the championship, so Richard will be looking to try to claim as many positions as possible to kind of limit that extra points that Levitius will be inheriting after this race.
Yeah, I mean, he does have the tire advantage currently, so I mean, if he can put together some solid lap times, which it looks like he's doing, his last lap was an 11.5. You know, Chaz just being 5 seconds up the road, he could be within striking distance within the next 4 to 5 laps. Podium might be a bit of a stretch because the gap between P3 and P4 is about 11 seconds. But, I mean, if he can at least grab that P4, that will help keep the championship hopes alive.
Yeah, indeed. Well, I mean, we still got 8 laps to go, and as the tyres do start to fall off, and certainly, you know, we've already seen as well with the battery life as well, it's very tight for the drivers to try to manage to get, you know, well, if they're on the hards or the mediums, 14 laps worth. So it's certainly, yeah, you know, I guess they have been practicing a lot, so you know, they'll know better than us in the comms box. But yeah, certainly we've seen a few drivers fall victim to the way that the battery falls away. So yeah, Fish had a moment there in P8 and losing ground to his teammate Giller in P7, roughly about a second. Puma Bridgens looks like things are calmed down for him. He's currently in P9, 2.4 seconds adrift of Fish. He is on the soft tyres though, so he should be quick at this stage of the race with Fish on the medium tyres and Giller on the medium tyres as well. So Bridgens should be closing the gap to VSR Fish, and plenty of time to do so as well. Then we've got Latari Racing in 10th position on the medium tyres. Looks quite healthy, I guess, for the battery. I'm not really sure. In fact, maybe it's not. If it's 14 laps that they need, and we got 7 laps remaining, it's going to be tight. It's going to be very tight. We've got Puma Racing Neil up into P11 now. So it looks like he's learnt his lesson from earlier on, because he's definitely got a lot more battery left in that pack, isn't it? Not tank, but pack. So VSR Nitro Merlin in P12, 9.9 seconds. I mean, he's cut adrift now. Of course, guys, there's no promotion relegation from this round, so it is all about how many points you pick up on a round-to-round basis now. So Nitro Merlin at the sort of is a little bit further down in the standings, but P12 will be, you know, decent ish points, I guess, for him, so he will not want to fall any further down if he is to remain in Tier 1 for the rest of the championship. Quinton Nell, P13, who is got a comfortable lead over RSA Rusty, who's had a shocking race, it has to be said. Really had a few bad moments in this race, and he's been playing catch up ever since. So Quinton Nell up into P13. He'll be looking to hold on to that 13th for pride, I think, ahead of Rusty. But Rusty is closing that gap. He is on the soft tyres. Oh, as Rusty goes wide, is our commentator's curse. He's run wide. He's picked up dirt on them tyres, and it looks like, well, Rusty's just going for broke right now, and really just going hell for leather to try and close in on Quinton Nell. But yeah, we've got 6 laps remaining. He needs to find at least a second a lap if he's going to achieve that feat. But let's go back to the top of the grid then. And yeah, Levitius with a very comfortable lead, and he's just managing that lead over Panic Potato. It is 3 seconds, but of course Levitius knows that he doesn't really need to push here, and of course it's very important to save that battery. So the gap is 2.8 seconds, or it was briefly 2.8 seconds. Panic Potato P2 at the moment. Levitius with a little bit less battery than Panic Potato, but very difficult to see in comms really. And
progressive action in the Corkscrew.
Yeah.
Fish is trying to take P7 away from Lightning Lord, which it does look like he did. Went just a little bit deeper into the Corkscrew and was able to make that pass stick.
Right, okay. Oh, and then we've also got Puma Bridges battling away as well to try and take that position from Lightning Lorry. He goes a little bit wide out of the last turn. So let's get aboard with Lightning Lorry now. We'll see Puma Bridges just behind him in P9. Is he going to send it down the inside? No, he thinks better of it for the... Oh, no! But I thought Puma Bridges was going to take that position away because it looked like he got a much better line through the turn. But yeah, maybe... got on the gas pedal maybe a little bit too early, but yeah, certainly very, very close between the two drivers. Puma Bridges really wants that P8, and I have to say it's been a very impressive performance from Bridges as well. P9 for him, of course, making his debut in Tier 1 for the MSA Cup at round 5 at Laguna Seca. But yeah, so Puma Bridges is just gonna, what he's gonna do is literally just try to encourage a mistake from Lightning Lorry. He's probably going to be big in Lightning Lorry's mirrors there, and you know, maybe weaving left to right to get Lightning Lorry worried, but you know, Lightning Lorry just having none of it for the time being, as Puma Bridges goes a little bit wide out of the final turn, so I don't think he's going to go for the move for the time being. The driver, it was Fish, wasn't it, when he made the move, isn't it? So let's have a quick look on the replay and see how he maneuvered himself past Lightning Lorry. So they were weaving side by side. Lightning Lorry didn't get the best. In fact, you was right there, Tusum. He did go very deep into the chicane, and there was Fish saying thank you very much. Although it looked like a little bit of wheel-to-wheel banging there between the two drivers. I may want to look on the replay again. So let me just try and sort that out. So let's get the side by side there. So yeah, so Lightning Lorry just got on the anchors a little bit too late. They were still side by side though. And oh, there was a slight bit of contact. I don't know if that's more of a racing incident, to be honest, but there was a little bit of door banging, and Fish, who perhaps didn't give the most space on the outside, and unfortunately Lightning Lorry was the one to lose out there.
Yeah, maybe he thought he was clear and just started to take the normal racing line. Wasn't expecting that front quarter panel of Lorry to be there. So yeah, I mean, we'll see if the stewards mention that or there's any reports for that.
Yeah, I mean, that's not our call to make, is it? It is down to the COC stewards. So they probably got a difficult judgment to call there, but I do digress. So yeah, Latari Racing P10, Puma Racing Neil and P11. So the gap has come down slightly. So Puma Racing Neil has reduced that deficit to about a second less since we last got on board with him. But them soft tyres are not looking good, I have to say. We have got 2.5 laps left of this race. Puma Racing Neil, I mean, he's struggling to save them soft tyres. So that means that Nitro Merlin could come into play here, really just depending on the battery life of Nitro Merlin. But yeah, Neil, I can't see him having any grip on that front right tyre maybe by lap 40. It is very, very low at the moment. Latari Racing has picked up a half-second penalty for cutting track limits, but his battery is so low. Hold on a minute. Latari Racing with next to no battery. We've got 2 laps remaining here. He's not going to have enough, surely. We've got Nitro Merlin, who is, what is he? He is 16 seconds behind Latari Racing. We know how slow that car is once you've completely lost the battery. So Latari Racing could be losing quite a number of positions here. Puma Racing Neil will have enough battery. It's just whether or not he's going to have any grip on them tyres. Nitro Merlin, I think Nitro Merlin's got a good chance there. Quinton Nell is in P13, 7.6 seconds adrift. He may even come into play, although he's got nothing on them soft tyres as well. So again, he's going to be very, very slow, and he's going to struggle on that car. So maybe Rusty, who's closed the gap to 2.1 seconds to Quinton Nell now, maybe Rusty can make up positions in the final embers of this race. This is amazing. But let's get back on board with the race leader Levitius, because he has got a 4.3 second lead over Panic Potato in second position. So I'm just looking at all the onboards. Actually, JDJ has closed that gap to Panic Potato to about 0.8 of a second. So we will have to stay on board with quite a number of these drivers. We're also very close between between Gilla and Vars for P6 and P7 respectively. And Lightning Lorry as well. But we come to that stage of the race where I do need to get on board with Levitius, because he is coming around the penultimate corner now. He has got that half a second penalty, but with such a big deficit, it's not going to matter to Levitius. So as he comes around the final turn now, Levitius is going to win round 5 of the MSA Cup in the Volkswagen IDRs at Laguna Seca. Congratulations to Levitius, and Panic Potato holds off JDJ to finish in P2 and JDJ in P3. Chaz is going to come home in 4th position with an excellent result for him. VSR Richard is going to come home in P5, and then it's going to be the fight between the 2 VSR drivers, but it looks like Fish has picked up a half a second penalty, so it looks like it is going to be Gilla P6 and Fish in P7. Lightning Lorry and Puma Bridges going to be side by side as they come across the line. Lightning Lorry's going to hold off Puma Bridges to finish in P8, Puma Bridges at P9, and then we got Puma Racing Neil in P10 with no... Oh, I thought he had no battery. No, he ran out. He ran out wide there. So Puma Racing Neil into P11. Nitro Merlin P11. There's Rusty. Then Latari Racing down into P14. So Nitro Merlin goes up a position to P11. Rusty up 2 positions to P12, who got in front of Quinton as well. So Rusty into P12. Quinton into P13 with no life on them soft tyres as he whimpers over the line to finish in P13. Latari Racing, no battery left, and we did call this. I mean, look how slow he's going. I mean, we're doing what, 70, 80 kilometers per hour. He is literally just trickling towards the checkered line now. Yeah, Latari Racing losing 4 positions to finish at the back of the grid in P14. But what a race that was, Tucson. What are your thoughts?
That last lap was absolutely insane. There was action everywhere. Like, there was, I think, 4 or 5 different battles for position. I tried to keep an eye on all of them, but I couldn't. Absolutely incredible. But yeah, great race from everybody. Congrats to the podium finishers. Very entertaining race, as I fully expected.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, we couldn't call it, but somebody, in fact, let me just quickly save the replay there. Something that we could call, though, was Levitius grabbing his third win in a row. And I'm pretty sure he'll be at the top of the championship come the end of today. We'll find out later on during the week. Excuse me. But he finishes 3.4 seconds ahead of teammate Panic Potato with his best performance of the season and certainly best result of the season. And I'm so looking forward to interviewing Dylan there. I'm so happy for him. VSR JDJ finishing 0.6 of a second down on Panic Potato to finish on the last step on the podium in P3. So the top three drivers will be interviewing very, very shortly. It'll be very interesting to get the thoughts of them drivers, that is for sure. But just to read you through the rest of the grid, so Chaz finishes in a much more respectable P4 than the recent results. I'm sure he'll be happy with that, finishing ahead of VSR Richard, who wasn't able to claw back the deficit there. He gets maybe a disappointing fifth position for him. That is the first time he's finished outside of a podium, so that was some feat from VSR Richard. But yeah, fifth position for Richard. I think he'll be disappointed with that. VSR Gilla finishes in P6, which is again very respectable for him and grabbing good points for sure. VSR Fish finishing in P7, which again good points for him, ahead of Lightning Glory, who finished in 8th position. Again, good performance from TNR Lightning Lorry for the second week in a row. P9 went to Puma Bridgens again, considering making his debut in Tier 1 for the MSA Cup. Good performance from Puma Bridgens, finishes in P9, way in front of Puma Racing Nil, who finished in the top 10. Then it was VSR Nitro Merlin, who didn't have the best of races, but he did the most important thing. He had enough tyre life left in the tyres, as well as battery as well. He was able to finish in 11th position. I would say Rusty with well, I mean, I'm sure if we got the chance to interview him, he'll probably say that was one of the worst races for him, but still finishes in 12th position because of Latari Racing, who completely ran out of battery, and I think he had roughly about half a lap to go. So yeah, that was quite shocking from Latari. Quinton Nell, it was looking like he was doomed for that last position, but again, he had enough battery and tyres to well, not enough tyres actually, but he had enough battery to finish in P13, and Latari Racing for P14. Just bear with us for about a couple of minutes, guys, as we sort ourselves out, get into the interview room and interview the top three drivers of Levitius, Panic Potato and JDJ. So back in a moment. Okay, all right, so we're in the interview room now, and we are going to get on board with third place finisher. That was JDJ. So VSR JDJ with do you know what, I don't even know what the record is now. I think it's definitely third podium. No, it's definitely fourth podium overall, I think. But yeah, certainly second podium in a row. Second last week, third this week. Am I muted? Oh my God, do I?
No, we can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me, right? Okay, I'm having a nightmare today. Yeah, so we So yes, a second podium in a row for sure. So how's it feel to finish in third position, particularly in these types of cars?
Actually, a bit disappointing. There was much more than than a third place up for grabs. I think overall I had the quickest pace. Looking at the delta that was the gap between myself and Levitius and Panic Potato. Unfortunately, I had a couple of incidents with chairs where I was a bit forced wide into the gravel or off the road, costing me I'm not sure how much time, but I definitely felt like I could have won today. If I'm looking at the overall pace, I was quicker on the soft stints, medium stints, and hard stints, but I was, like I said, unfortunately, it does happen in some of those races. So I think the incidents between me and Chaz cost the overall race pace. If I'm looking at it, I'm probably going to look a bit back on it after the interview just to see what happened. But still, a podium is a podium. It's awesome points for the championship. So overall, not bad. A bit of damage control this race, I believe. But overall, it was, yeah, I can't complain with the third place. Like I said, it's decent points for the championship.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, so obviously the drop round will come into play after this round. So yeah, certainly podium is pretty good, to be honest. And yeah, I just need to ask you really, JDJ. So what are your thoughts on these cars? Because this is a very unusual combo. I mean, Laguna Seca is a difficult place to race around, let alone driving cars that are not even petrol fueled, so how did the cars actually feel for you?
To be honest, this was a combo that I never thought would have worked. Having these high downforce cars and these sausage curbs on these tracks, which are literally the death of any car. So I didn't expect it to actually work this well. It actually felt quite. This is probably my favorite race of the season so far. I felt competitive. The track sort of just grew on me. These cars actually feel quite nice. I think these high downforce cars are much better to take around this track than the GR3s and the GR4s. So overall, I actually found it quite enjoyable.
Oh, that's great to hear, because we saw quite a few cars run off the circuit, so I didn't know if it was a car that you couldn't wait to get out of or not. But it's good to hear that you did actually enjoy it, JDJ. And like I say, that reflected in your performance today, grabbing that third position. But Tusum, obviously a new commentator I've got alongside me today. Tusum, what did you think of JDJ's performance, and any questions for him?
Yeah, I do have a couple of questions. Firstly, JDJ, congrats on P3. You ran a great race. At the start of the race, the top 5, they all started on softs, but you started on mediums. At what point did you realize that you were on the slower tire? And did you make any adjustments at the start of the race to try to put yourself in a better position later on?
So I had an idea that Levitius would have started on the softs. I wasn't completely sure about Chaz and Panic Potato, as it's difficult to guess. I know starting at front it's optimal to use the soft tires because you'll have a bit of clean air and not too many battling. You can work with the top 2 guys can work together with it. But I saw myself, I was the only VSR guy in between a first, third, and fourth TNR, so I wasn't sure what their strat would have been. So I didn't want to lose unnecessary time with battling and stuff like that. So I decided to start on the mediums. I knew if I could stay within 5 seconds before the tire drop off on the softs, I could catch up, and possibly, if it went perfectly, could have passed on the mediums, because I saw the tires that the tires were wearing a bit on the front runners, so I had a bit of hope, but unfortunately it didn't quite work in my favor. But I think overall I had an awesome medium stint, and it did set me up for the faster tire on the second stint, with only, I think it was a 4 or 5 second gap between them, which is which is very possible to close with the soft tires compared to the mediums. So that was technically the strat going into here, just going on the mediums, trying to stick with them, or if they were on the mediums as well, still we could then be in between each other. So that was technically the idea behind starting on the mediums. Yeah, and yeah, it felt like the right thing to do, and I think if everything went smooth, it would have been the right tire choice to go on.
All right. Well, again, congrats on P3. You ran an amazing race, and look forward to see what you do at Dragon Trail next week.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I forgot to switch on my mic there. JDJ, must be a huge relief for you that you'll be in familiar territory, being back in the Group 3 cars for next week. How are you feeling ahead of next week's race?
Feeling quite well. I enjoy Dragon Trail Seaside actually, and it's with the car that we've driven. I think this is a combo we've driven maybe 100 times before with the GTR around Dragon Trail Seaside. Of course, a bit nervous because there's a death chicane and not a lot of overtaking spots. But I'm quite excited. I think we'll have a nice one. I think we're going to have a couple of fast oaks there, as everyone is quite familiar with the track. So I think it's going to make for awesome racing. I think it's going to be nice, close, and competitive. And there's going to be a couple of wall incidents, I can promise, which is always entertaining because it changes the race completely. So yeah, I'm looking forward for that one.
Yes, well, Dragon Trail Seaside is one of my favourite locations, and to be honest, yeah, the death chicane is always entertaining. Maybe not for the drivers, but certainly for us in the commentary booth. I think I'm going to be going absolutely mad with that one. So good luck to you in the next round of the MSA Cup, and again, congratulations on the great performance today, JDJ.
Thank you very much. Let's make it a 5th in a row.
Exactly. Why not, eh? Keep pushing. Thank you for talking to us, and we'll catch you next week.
Cheers.
Cheers, JDJ. Take care. And then on to our second place finisher, and I need to try and find him. In fact, I don't even think we've got a card for him. Okay, no, we don't, but we know that it's Dylan, aka TNR Panic Potato, with a fantastic performance today. P2, how is that feeling for you?
No, I must say it feels quite great, especially coming into this race. I wasn't particularly happy with my pace, especially in qualifying. Then everything kind of just stuck in the race. And I was able to keep up with Lev, save some batteries, save some tires, and everything just worked out.
So I need to ask you actually, because you was very, very close to the back of Levitius. Now I just wanted to ask, like, there was a point where Levitius took a penalty at the start-finish line, and I thought, for the life of me, you was going to try and take the inside line and power past him to get into the race lead. But it looked like you backed off. Was there a particular strategy that you was kind of doing? Was you like doing a lot of battery saving? I mean, tell me your thoughts in that moment.
So what happened right there was, obviously coming out of the corner, Levitius was a bit ahead of me. But then he covered the inside, so I had to go around the outside. And then he just braked at the perfect point where I couldn't really turn in. And through turn 1, the amount of understeer in this all-wheel drive, it's almost impossible to go too wide through there. So I just wasn't able to hang it around the outside.
Okay, fair enough. That clears that one up. What I've noticed in commentary, and it was very difficult to kind of like understand like how much battery you had left, was so, you know, going into the race, like, was you kind of paranoid that you was gonna
Yes.
run out of juice?
Yes, 100% yes. Because I mean, they're going on to lap 12 at the end of the soft. I was already pretty much out of battery. And I mean, that was only 12 laps, and I'm supposed to be getting about 15 laps out of the battery. So I was a bit sketchy, which definitely pushed me to battery save a little bit more on the mediums. And I think that set me up perfectly then for the hard tire stint at the end.
No, fair play. I mean, yeah, certainly a balance between kind of saving the battery, but also trying to remain pacey and up to speed. And certainly you did a fantastic job today. Best result of the season. So happy for you that you've grabbed that second position, Potato. And just keep it going, because you've been going from strength to strength on every race. And just so happy for you. And obviously it's great to talk to you for the first time as well. Hopefully we can get you back in the interview room for the next round. But Tusum, what were your thoughts on Panic Potato's performance, and any questions at all?
Yeah, so Potato, in your qualifier, you started in P4. Do you feel as though you got the most out of your car? Or do you feel like you possibly could have gotten a little bit closer to the front of the grid in quali?
To be honest, E4, that 10.2, I think I said a mid 10.2, that was better than any of my practice laps I did. I was really, really struggling for pace. And I think I was following behind one of the VSR drivers for that lap, and then I kind of saw a different line that they were taking through turn 7 and 8, and that then helped me get that 10.2. So it was literally during qualifying, I was still learning how to get faster. So it definitely wasn't fully happy, but qualifying worked out well.
All right. And then you mentioned having to do some battery saving. What steps did you take to try to extend the life of that battery so you can make the medium and the hard stints last those 14 laps?
So when I was following behind Liam, I was just lifting off the throttle fully, lifting and coasting about 50 to 60 meters before my braking point. And that was pretty much just about it.
All right. Well, Panda Potato, congratulations on P2. Amazing drive starting from P4. And are you looking forward to Dragon Trail next weekend?
Yes.
Next week, sorry.
I'm very, very excited for that. I had a few races there, and they're always a good one. So interested to see what will happen there next week.
Well, all right, thanks so much. Hopefully this won't be your last appearance here, and good luck to you next week.
Thank you. I hope so too.
Yeah, and so you've got a P2 now, and you're saying you're feeling very confident ahead of next week's race at Dragon Trail. So maybe a race win.
Hopefully, I can take the fight to Liam next week. I feel like I should be able to have the pace to fight at the very front next week, but we'll obviously see how everything plays out.
Okay, well, best of luck to you, Dylan, because, like I said, you've been going from strength to strength on every race. Of course, with my lobbies on my Twitch channel, I've obviously hosted Dragon Trail a few times, and I definitely noticed that you was very strong there. So, definitely looking forward to you taking the fight to Levitis. I suppose I will see what Levitis' reaction is to that one, but but yeah, congratulations on that second position. You should be so proud, and look forward to seeing you next week.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Panic Potato. Take care. Okay, and then last but not least, then we have TNR Levitius with his third victory in a row, and really now looking strong in this championship. Levitius, explain to me your performance, how it went for you, and how you're feeling as well.
Feeling good. We got the win, even though we weren't the fastest. That was great. We had to fight really hard to get that P1. Dylan was just absolutely insane today. He didn't practice all weekend. He turns up at 5 p.m. today, sees a couple of my laps, and he just turns into like a god in the race. I don't know what he did, but he was insanely fast. I actually was really surprised by that. The whole lap one incident as well was kind of crazy. How he got past both JDJ and Chaz, and then he just stuck behind me surprisingly with the dirty air. So he did an insane job, and all those penalties, man, I made it a bit more difficult for myself than I should have. But it was some good racing of Dylan, and honestly, just a great race. Just a great race.
Yeah, it looked well. At one stage, it looked like he was going to throw it away, actually, Lev, because I did notice you got a few penalties. I know you said last week that you was feeling good about the combo, about the car, but to explain to us about the car. It seemed like a lot of drivers feared that they were going to lose or run out of battery. Did you ever have any of them fears, or was it in control for you?
Well, for the first 19 laps of the race, I was focusing on doing 15 laps in the mediums, and then I realized Dylan behind was not doing that, so I had to change my strategy because we're just bunching up. We're losing too much time, getting too close to one another. So I started pushing at I think it was lap 19. Once I realized Dylan wasn't saving, he was only going to do 14 laps in the mediums, so I just kept pushing. And after that, I just tried to keep it clean, but I kept getting a random penalty on the chicane, the corkscrew. Even though only one of the times I was actually off the curb completely, so it was weird. But we made it work. That one move into turn one, I was on the limit of the brakes, but I still got it stopped, which is great. And once you get into the inside of turn one, no one's getting ahead of you. It's just that's how the corner is designed, really. And yeah, that's basically just how it happened. I was just managing my pace a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Dylan was faster than me. Chaz was in practice at least faster than me, and JDJ was definitely faster than me. I just managed to get my quali lap in and secure it from there.
Yeah, it's certainly one of them circuits, Laguna Seca. There's probably, I would argue and say maybe there isn't too many opportunities. Maybe just down the back straight, approaching the checker flag if you get close enough to the car in front. But there's not really any good places to pass, really, is there? It's just a case of just sticking to the car in front and keeping it within the track limits. Yeah, just tell me how you managed to strike the balance, I guess, between keeping it fast, keeping it consistent, but also saving that battery. What kind of techniques were you using to save that battery?
Honestly, there's only two corners I was quite nervous of. It was turn 7, which is that fast left-hander before the corkscrew. I was putting a lot of emphasis on just doing a little bit of lifting and coasting into that corner to make sure I don't overload the tires and just not make a mistake, because if you go slightly wide there, you're in the dirt, you're not going to go and rejoin the circuit at all. And if you hit the sausage curb, you're going to Narnia. So it was quite alarming that I think it was only one lap where I got really close to the edge, but the rest of the time I was always keeping a little bit of margin for error there. There was only other one corner, is turn 4. I think it was turn 4 where Dylan hit the sausage curb, and that's what got him out of my slipstream range. And then once that happened, I never looked back. But Dylan was just on a mission today. I can't believe it. It's absolutely insane. It's definitely the future for the scene. He just kept on pushing me the entire race. I could not breathe. I couldn't even drink water. It was crazy.
You must have been dehydrating, because I know you drink a lot of water, Lev. So definitely kept you on your toes for sure. And but nevertheless, Levitius, fantastic performance yet again. It's puts you in a strong position in the championship. So congratulations to you. And Tusum, obviously you know all about Levitius, but tell me your thoughts and any questions that you have at our race winner.
Yeah, Levitius, that was a great drive, great win. Congratulations. At the start of the race, you were under fire from JDJ. Talk us through those first few corners and how you managed to maintain the lead after that turn 2 attack from JDJ.
I just think starting on the grid with this car, where you have to start turning when you're in pole position slightly sooner, I got a bit of understeer or power understeer. I think I lost a little of traction, and JJ just pulled straight past me. It was crazy because I think I did another start in P2 and I got a perfect launch. I think if I was going to change anything, I would have to maybe straighten my wheel up for a little bit longer, get closer to the edge of the circuit, just to make sure I get all the power done on the wheels. But then once JDJ got on my inside into turn 2, I was just going to hold around the outside and then just bolt it out of the corner. He still got a pretty good exit, and I just had to basically just fully send it and hope it stuck, and it did work pretty well. And I did give him enough space on the outside, and it just stuck. And then I was pretty happy actually about that, because if I stuck behind him, he was on mediums and I was on softs, he could have lost me a lot of time. So definitely race critical, and overall just turned out great. And then I think in the Corkscrew we had a bit of a moment there. I think there was just a bit of a mistake from JDJ, but luckily I kept it on the track and held P1, because it seems like that was actually the most important thing, move of the race. And after that, just try to keep my consistency going, even though with all the penalties it was quite difficult, but we made it work.
Yeah, now these cars, they're quite different from what you guys normally race. This is primarily a Group 3, Group 4 championship. What adjustments did you make to be able to get the most out of this car?
Well, to be honest with you, the way this car works is that when you go off the throttle, it's not just like coasting as a typical engined petrol-powered car. It's actually like brakes a lot more than you expect, so you can use that to your advantage. I remember I was actually using the brake way too much in practice initially, and once I realized, oh wait, you just need to basically just coast through some of the corners instead of braking, because the engine braking does it for you. It just was weird, because you're like, oh wait, you'd think you have to brake for this corner, but no, the car will just stick. It was weird. There was also a particular corner after the Corkscrew, that fast left-hander, where I would just go off the throttle and it would do the braking for me. It was really weird to get used to that, but once I did, trusting this car felt amazing through the high-speed corners. Yeah, it was weird, but it was fun. Yeah.
Well, Lev, again, great drive. Congratulations on your third consecutive P1. And yeah, we'll see you in Dragon Trail. Can't wait to see that.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I reiterate that as well. Yeah, I mean, obviously you heard the comments of your teammate fancying or at least taking the fight to you at Dragon Trail Seaside. It sounded like he was really confident. How are you thinking about, or how are you feeling about Dragon Trail Seaside, particularly because we're back in the Group 3 cars as well? You know, what are you thinking about your chances?
Well, I do rather love the Nissan GTR. I've had quite good success with that car over the years, but Dragon Trail is one of those circuits that I love to hate to love. So we just have to see what happens. I think it's just a mental block. I have done some great races in the GTWS there before. It's just basically just finding a consistent line through the chicane, and the rest is pretty straightforward. I like the rest of the circuit, so just a bit of practice, a bit of consistency required, and I look forward to it. Yeah.
Sounds almost like you need to flip a coin to see whether or not you'll make it safely through the chicane or not.
Definitely.
But yeah, that is the beauty of Dragon Trail Seaside, and yeah, best of luck in the next round. Obviously, Levitis, you'll know that with that third consecutive win, I'm pretty certain that puts you at the top of the championship. Although we'll wait and see how the drop rounds do actually affect things, but yeah, you can only do what you do. Third win in a row.
Definitely.
So yeah, congratulations, Levitis, on a fantastic performance again, and look forward to seeing how you get on next week.
Thank you, Flawed. I just also want to say thank you to Simulator Cave. I actually use one of their products, their monitor mount. Thank you for the reliability, I guess, because you know, I actually just bought it recently, and it's been treating me well for both these championships. So thank you, Simulator Cave. Yeah. Have a good night.
Yeah, thank you, Levi. Yeah, kind words, and obviously, yeah, a very happy customer of Simulator Cave as well, which we will get the thoughts of JP in, well, very shortly. Before we do, though, well, I mean, we know it's now Dragon Trail Seaside in the next round, but let's just take you through the info anyways, just to give you a quick reminder. So, we are at Dragon Trail Seaside for the race on Monday, July the 14th. Yes, we are back in Europe for the sunny Croatia for the visit of the seaside resort of Dragon Trail Seaside. But of course, they can't relax, they can't sunbathe too long, and yeah, certainly they're going to be wary of that dreaded death chicane, as we call it. This circuit features 18 turns in a clockwise direction around this 5.2 kilometer track layout. Yes, will we see victims? Will the drivers escape the clutches of the death chicane? Who knows, but do make sure you tune in on Monday, July the 14th for round 6 of the MSA Cup next week. And of course, as mentioned as well, we are driving the Group 3 machinery of the Nissan GT-R 2018 car. Now, apparently is nicknamed as Godzilla now. I didn't know that, but it is a high performance sports car known for its powerful engine, advanced technology and impressive performance. So it was part of the R35 generation with its twin turbocharged 3.8 litre V6 engine, which powers the GT-R. It produces 565 horsepower and at 467 pounds per feet of torque, enabling a 0 to 100 kilometers per hour time of under 3 seconds. Wow, that is quick. I didn't even know that. But yeah, absolutely fantastic car. It sounds like it's going to be an absolutely fantastic race. Can't wait for that one. So make sure you do get tuned in next week for what is hotting up to be a very fascinating MSA Cup for 2025. Now, of course, today's special event was in aid of Simulator Cave, our sponsor for the MSA Cup in 2025. I think we have still got JP back with us in the interview room. Is JP there?
How's the Flawed? Yes, I'm here. I've been watching the race. Wow, what an exciting race. We've got some seriously talented races here. What's it, lap 15 and 16 blew my mind. I mean, there was some serious action, and I'll remember my first online electric race as tire squealing. You don't hear the engine, but you hear the tires. You can hear the guys are battling those cars through the corners, and it was super awesome. And just again, thank you for I'm humbled to see Simulator Cave livery on all these cars. I love that the black and blues and the turquoise. I think it's the VSR cars. I don't know how they do it, but it's so cool where it changes from purple to white to turquoise. Yeah, I wish I could get that on my car. It's super cool. So and I can see the guys have really done put a lot of effort into doing that, and I love it. Can I ask the guys to please send me pics of the cars? I've asked the management to send me this video of this race at the new cave. We will have a projector and run some races on there, and I'd love to run these cars on that screen. So if the guys can maybe send me some pics of the cars that they've made, I'd love to present them there at the new cave as well.
Well, you've heard it here. Yes, get your livery pics over to JP, or at least into our Discord. I know that we do have an MSA livery channel in our Discord, and I did see a few of the pictures that was posted in there. But, you know, that's not just for Tier 1. We're talking Tier 2, 3 and 4 who would have had all their unique designs of, you know, featuring the Simulator Cave brand on their cars. So, yeah, please do post them pictures, and yeah, we'd love to see them. Yeah, so it must have felt really good for you, JP. Obviously, you know, 14 cars whizzing around the circuit with your logo on there. Do you actually ever play Gran Turismo at all, or you know, is this, you know, it can be such a fun game, and certainly, you know, after seeing that race and seeing how fast these drivers are and how exciting some of these races are, I mean, it must kind of encourage you to get into the rig to play the game.
No, definitely. But as my one good friend told me, now you've made your hobby your job. So I don't get as much time as I'd love to get behind the wheel. And you know what it's like. If you need to, if you want to be competitive, you need to put in your time, get to know the track, and set up the car. So I don't get a lot of time doing the online racing. I love GT. I actually learned, believe it or not, quite a lot of racing tricks in GT7. I think the tricks of the trade, you learn a hell of a lot of racing tricks through that. And obviously the GT, what am I saying? GT Sport, Gran Turismo,
right.
The sport version.
Yep.
I've done a lot of racing in that. And believe it or not, I'm not mainly on PlayStation. I do have PlayStation and Xbox and PCs, so I'm quite spoiled for choice having this as a business. But there's something special on Gran Turismo. It's just the way that the cars sound, the way they look, the tracks. It's something special. So no, I find myself very often getting in Gran Turismo, and my favorite track is the Green Hell. Racing through that, through those corners and trying to improve my lap time. That's as far as I get to racing. I just simply don't have the time to do online racing anymore. But who knows? Maybe in the future. But that's it. Just experiencing the feedback and driving the cars on the tracks, hearing the sounds and being immersed in it all. To be honest, it's enough for me. I don't need the excitement for racing anymore. It's I've been there, done that. But who knows? Maybe in a couple of years' time, when I have more time to spend practicing, I can maybe join one of the tiers here.
Yeah, well, I was going to try and encourage you to race more if you had the time, because you know, you're more than welcome to link up with all of us in SMA to do some practice, especially Dragon Trail Seaside coming up, which would have been on GT Sport. I think you're well aware of the Death Chicane and the
I love that track. That is such a special track. I tell you what. Yeah, no, that's quite special. No, that's going to be one serious race to watch, and I'm looking forward. I'll definitely log in next week and have a look at what the guys are doing.
Well, fair play, and I'm glad you enjoyed the race. It's great to see people like yourself that obviously play on a lot of different race sims and probably watched a lot of sim racing action across all different games and platforms and stuff, but yeah, it was a great race, and an absolute pleasure to interview you as well today, and yeah, guys, please do check out Simulator Cave if you haven't already done so. An absolutely fantastic brand for South Africa. JP is one of the nicest people that I know of, that really knows his stuff when it comes to sim racing equipment, sells a breadth of great equipment out there, and he can give you all the advice that you would ever need. So make sure you do check out the link below for the link for Simulator Cave for their website. And also as well, so JP, have you got any social platforms for Simulator Cave?
Yeah, look, we were mainly run on it started as an online store, so but we do have a Facebook page now as well, so please go and like it. I have posted some new information on the new cave as we're building it, but a social page, you actually need some capacity to run it, and soon I'll have somebody to run the social pages, and so at the moment it's only Facebook. Our main communication platform will be email and WhatsApp, so I think a lot of guys have contacted us through these platforms, but on Facebook we'll definitely post more, because there's quite a big reach on Facebook. I think the sim racing community, they know Simulator Cave pretty well by now, but the new people coming into simulator, into sim racing, I think Facebook is quite a good platform to reach. And obviously we run huge ads on Google Ads and Bing Ads, so to reach more racers or potential racers, and we hope that they will join SMA soon to improve the tier levels as well. Maybe we can have some 10 or 12 tiers, who knows. More guys joining the league.
Yeah, the more the merrier for sure. I mean, we've got 4 tiers in the MSA Cup, but certainly in previous seasons of the SMA we had 5 tiers, and it could have been even 6 tiers. But yeah, hopefully the racing that you've seen so far this season, anyone that's new in the channel or maybe watching after the live broadcast, you know, if you are interested in these South African leagues, then definitely go and check our Discord. All the links are provided on our YouTube homepage, so go and check it out. Contact Robin Williams, the GT7 promoter for SMA, and yeah, hopefully we can get you in future championships. But yeah, thank you so much, JP, for your time today. As I said, it's been an absolute honour, and thank you so much for providing that support for SMA, for South African sim racing in general, and hopefully we can continue on with this relationship for future seasons.
Absolutely, yeah. This is a fixed venue for us, so no, it's a pleasure to give back to the racers. That's where the real heroes are, the guys who can get the race, the lap times, and they can take the stress when the battery runs out and the corners get tight. So no, we've got to support you guys. So we'll definitely be there in the future as well.
Oh, fantastic. Well, hopefully we can. I don't know what your schedule is. I know you're very, very busy, JP. But you know, thank you for taking the time to speak to us in the commentary booth, to really presenting your brand as well. It's such a great brand. I kind of wish we had more of these brands like in the UK, because everything is like done online. You don't really know what you're buying. But of course, with your brands, you know, you do the of course the sim experience, isn't it, like the tour of the shop and things like that, with the future plans you've got as well, with opening it up to you know, bring your friends over to book yourself a race between each other. And I mean, it sounds like you've got some amazing plans going on at Simulator Cave, and I wish you all the best with that, of course.
Much appreciated, and thanks for the great commentary, and thanks again for the management of SMA to bring us an excellent race and league. We definitely need this in South Africa. Thanks for that.
You're very, very welcome, and them words mean so much to me, and of course Tucson Box as well. So yeah, thank you so much, JP, and look forward to maybe seeing you in future broadcasts, maybe even get you back to talk to you again. But thank you so much, JP.
That'll be great. Have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you, JP. Take care. And yeah, so just to reiterate as well, the MSA Cup 2025 is sponsored, of course, by Simulator Cave, the haven for all your sim racing requirements in South Africa, as well as TGSC Cape Town Golf Academy, the hotbed of nurturing talented golfers to reach full greatness. Now, onto the promotion and relegation. So as most of you should be aware, there is no promotion or relegation. So the tiers will be locked down from next week, with the final determined tier position based on your total logged points, with the drop round included, meaning the worst round or the best 4 rounds, well, I think it's easier to say the worst round will be deducted from your final logged points, and will determine which tier you will race in going forward for the rest of the season. Top 3 from each tier will receive a special prize come the end of the season, and including this prize draw as well, where you could get the chance to win a builder rig supplied courtesy of Simulator Cave. So make sure you get yourselves entered into that competition, provided you have completed the race for us in the SMA. We look forward to seeing you in the draw, and best of luck for that one. And of course, lastly, our socials. So please do subscribe to our socials at Sim Motorsport Association on all our platforms, which is Facebook, Instagram, a growing community on Discord, and of course this very channel on YouTube. Make sure if you are new to the channel, smash that subscribe button, click in the bell notification so you don't miss any of our content, and when you're done watching, hit that like button to help with the YouTube algorithm so it spreads our content across the platform. We fully appreciate you. If you'd like to contact Robin Williams, our MSA GT7 and SMA promoter, for further details, the email links will be in the description below and on our YouTube homepage. And also as well, if you are interested in some of the equipment that Simulator Cave provides, which is from the brands of Moza and Fanatec, as well as racing cockpits as well, then the link is in the description below as well, to check out the website and see everything that they offer. But I assure you, just the best stuff for sure. And also I have to say a big thank you to the SMA Productions, the SMA admin, the new moderators we have in chat as well. So a big thank you to Dana, to Double DP, and of course Robin Williams as well. Thank you so much for all the tireless work you did today as well. I did keep an eye on chat, but we was quite busy today, but thank you so much for that continued support, as well as everyone in chat as well, keeping the chat alive and keeping us updated with everything with the stream, and just keeping us company as well. But yeah, definitely a big thank you to the SMA admin for their tireless work that they've provided thus far, going into the halfway mark of the championship, and we'll continue to do so for the rest of the season. We appreciate all the hard work involved. Okay, so we are getting into the back end of the stream now. Box, you have completed your first week with the SMA and in the MSA Cup. What are your thoughts and feelings after a very emotional first race for you? And what is your driver of the day as well, actually, more interestingly?
Yeah, so I've been watching this series since last season, thanks to Levidius always streaming his stints. Today's race didn't disappoint. I saw pretty much similar quality racing that I've seen from these guys for the past 2 seasons. They always put on the show. These guys are leaving everything out on the racetrack, and I was very happy to be a part of this. I'm very glad that Sim Motorsport Association invited me on to the broadcast team for the day. The driver of the day for me, he had a bit of a quiet race. We didn't see a lot of them, but VSR Gilla, I saw that he started in P12 and he made his way up into P6. So, definitely was quietly making his way up the grid. So, I would say that he would be my driver of the day for today.
Okay, that's a good call, actually. Well observed as well. Yeah, it was a fantastic drive from VSR Giller. I will have to give it, though, to TNR Panic Potato. The reason why is because it's the first time we've seen him on a podium, and we've seen that steady rise from him ever since he got promoted from Tier 2. You know, he kind of survived the first race, but it was still a very good performance, and just gradually just getting better and better and better, and just like learning from his mistakes as well. And the P2 today was very much merited there. And yeah, who knows whether or not we'll see another new winner in the MSA Cup in the rounds to follow. But yeah, TNR Panic Potato, I think, is my driver of the day. So congratulations, as I see you in chat there. So yeah, Tusum, or Tusum, sorry. Of course, I know you through Twitch, me also being a Twitch streamer. But for those that don't know you, you know, tell us where to obviously find you, and what kind of content you provide on your channel.
Yeah, so all of my socials, everything is Tuzumbox. I mainly do Twitch. I do upload to YouTube every once in a while. But what I'm going through right now is we recently hit 1,300 followers on Twitch. So
nice.
I'm in the middle of a marathon. I promised my viewers that I would stream every day in the month of July. And it's going to accumulate in doing I can't remember the brand, but it's going to be the one chip challenge. It's not Pocky, it's a different brand that does it now. But I'm going to do a one chip challenge, and I'm going to try to complete a lap around Nürburgring.
Wow.
I believe it was Roy Alexander that first did that, and I was inspired by him. So yeah, the 31st of July, I'm going to attempt the same thing. And I want to see specifically how much it affects how well I can drive, which I'm willing to bet is going to be significant.
Wow, I mean, that is some challenge. I do know that you love the Nürburgring, so that's not really a surprise to me, but nevertheless, that is some challenge. So yeah, guys, please do check out Tuzumbox or Tusumbox on Twitch. Please hit that follow button for him. Go and tune in. I mean, no excuses. Go and check him out. He's absolutely awesome. Please show the love that you've definitely shown me, shown SMA, and please spread it to Tusumbox on Twitch. It would be much appreciated, and he fully deserves it as well. But Tusum, thank you so much for your company today. You've been absolutely awesome. We will have you back for round 7, and I'm trying to think what race that is, round 7, but we will have you back for round 7 because we do actually have a new commentator in McNulty Gaming from next week. But you know, have you enjoyed yourself today? And you know, are you looking forward to the next time you come back to us?
Yeah, I had an absolute ball today. You know, Flawed, I gotta say that you're actually the main reason that I even wanted to get into commentary. You know, hearing you do your commentary on your stream and for other leagues, I always thought to myself, you know what, I feel like I could do that. And then I eventually just started taking the league, putting myself out there, and yeah, here we are now. Again, I can't thank SMA enough for giving me this opportunity. A little jealous that I won't be able to commentate on Dragon Trail, but yeah, McNaughty's more than capable, so that's definitely going to be another really good broadcast. I think the week after that is...
So Topless, isn't it?
I want to say... Oh, Topless, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I cannot thank you guys enough for allowing me this opportunity. Extremely grateful to be a part of this association.
Yeah, well, I think you did absolutely fantastic, to be honest, Tusum. It's why I brought you into the commentary booth. Very kind words from you as well, and honestly, that means a lot. But yeah, I mean, you deserved your place on the team through merit, really, I think. And I think today was proof that you can cut it as a commentator for sure. So I would have been lost without you today, Tusum. So honestly, mate, I really appreciate you being with me, and yeah, unfortunate that we do have another new commentator next week, but you'll be back for races 7 and 8. So still a lot of exciting races to commentate on, and particularly at the sharp end of the championship as well.
Yep, I can't wait. Definitely looking forward to it.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Tusum, and yeah, we'll speak very soon.
All right, sounds good. Take care, everybody.
Okay, so it was TNR Levitius who romped home to become the winner in round 5 of the MSA Cup, making it 3 wins on the bounce, as now the championship really starts to hot up. But what surprises will we have in store for the next round at Dragon Trail Seaside, I wonder? Well, we'll have to wait and find out till next week, so make sure you tune in to this very channel on YouTube at the Sim Motorsport Association for Monday the 14th of July at 8:40 p.m. Eastern Africa time. But from everyone in the MSA and the SMA production team, a huge thank you for watching, and we will see you next week. So I've been your main host, Floor Genius Gaming, so stay safe out there, have a fantastic week, and it's a bye-bye for now. SMA, growing the sport together.